I was at when Pokemon Go first came out. I was talking to my boss about it, and I said, "What team are you on?" And he said, "No one told me." And I went, "You're Instinct, aren't you?" Turns out he was. What up, everyone? This is Cameron with Vgcritic. I'm here with Erik and Cooksey. Today, they are going to be debating Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go. They're going to be Pokemon going to debate this game.
Oh, shut it.
And then Pokemon going to the polls. So if you don't know what Pokemon Go is, you've probably been living under a rock for the last little bit.
Actually, no, probably. If you didn't know what Pokemon Go was a year and a half ago,
yeah, I'd assume
then you were living under a rock. Today, nobody cares.
I would assume they still know what it is, though.
No.
It's a game where you go around catch Pokemon in real life, but like the Pokemon aren't real.
Like what we always wanted.
It's like
but never got.
It's augmented reality. So Erik here has cons on the game.
Yeah.
Cooksey here has pros on the game. One of them has a harder job. I'm not telling you which one, but it's Cooksey. So we're going to give Cooksey his first opening statement of a minute. Let me pull up my timer real fast. All right, cool. You have 1 minute on the clock, Cooksey, and go.
Pokemon Go was a revolutionary game. It came out last summer, and it brought new technology to the table. It was a great game that changed mobile games and kind of launched Nintendo into the mobile gaming, which is good or bad, depends on how you look at it. But having a Pokemon title was a really good step for them, stepping stone, and the game has continued to update and grow and become a better game since its original release. The latest update that just happened today has introduced weather mechanics and introduced the Hoenn region. 50 new Pokemon, I believe, are added today. And so there is just more and more to continue to try out with this new game. Newer game. This new old game. Okay.
You had 10 seconds left. That's okay. I'll just let it go. Erik, you have...
Not 10 seconds, more good stuff to say about this game.
I know there's not. You have cons. 1 minute on the clock. Go.
Pokemon Go, sure, mobile gaming blew up about it, but it wasn't nothing new. It wasn't anything revolutionary. I mean, Niantic's first game was pretty much the same exact thing, just Pokemon Go reskinned it. It was pointless if you lived in a rural community. You could catch Rattatas. Great. Woohoo, yay. It's the same Pokemon over and over again. You had to live in an urban area or a college campus to have any fun on this game, really whatsoever. Otherwise, you were just catching the same stuff, or you had to travel miles to get anything good. The system of having to travel, they teased us with this idea of that we'll be able to go and find our favorite Pokemon and then battle them against other people and battle in gyms, and they teased us that it was Pokemon in real life, but it was nothing more than a swipe and catch and do nothing.
Thanks, Erik.
with.
That was pretty good. All right, so you guys have 8 minutes to duke it out. Everyone knows this part. This is the best part, the longest part of the video. So you'll rebuttal and then back and forth. 8 minutes on the clock. Go.
Well, my first rebuttal is there are gyms. They did put the gyms in, and they have reworked the gyms within the last couple months. And I know you haven't played the game in the last couple months.
Yeah, but the gyms were there from the beginning, and they were They were pointless.
But they've updated them.
Yeah, and the new update. Okay, I get to battle a little bit, and my Pokemon stays there a little bit longer than it used to, but there's still. It's not this. It's not. We've never had this true, like, I'm going to go out and be able to stop people and battle them or go to a gym and get a gym badge. Or, like, it's not any more exciting than Farmville, where I just sit and let it do its own thing.
Well, I mean, there are different aspects of it, too. You are able to go and put your Pokemon in the gym, and you do collect. And while, no, you don't get to battle people on the street, it is fun when local areas become territory wars. Because that's what happened is it was seeing how many Pokemon you could put in a gym at one time and turning every gym that you could find into a red gym or a blue gym or a yellow gym.
Nobody was a yellow gym.
No one was a yellow gym. And the yellow players never had it good enough to get into a gym.
Because who would join that team? Anyway, I just, like, it wasn't it wasn't Pokemon. It as much as they wanted it to be, it's in the fact that it had Pokemon in it. Great, you can get Pokemon cereal and does that make it a Pokemon game? No, it was. I walk around, my phone vibrates, an image shows up, I swipe, and then there was nothing left to do with it other than to one at a time send the Pokemon back to the professor to get a stupid candy. And it took 1 billion candies before you could ever level up your Pokemon. And even then, every Pokemon had limits to how powerful you got. So if you were in an area where you could catch good Pokemon, you never had a shot at making them strong enough to get in a gym. I mean, I live in a fairly rural area, and I never could catch anything strong enough to be able to compete with the people who were putting Pokemon in, who were playing on college campuses or in large cities. I just, at that point, it was fairly pointless.
I think they tried to capitalize more on the concept of teamwork and stuff like that, which is something that is very much so a Pokemon moral or a target that Pokemon kind of comes with from the TV show and from the different things. They definitely messed up where they tried to appeal to younger audiences, but it was the older generation that had the cell phones to play it. That's a mistake that they made, but I think that the raids that they're now doing where you have to get 14, 15 people together to catch, the legendaries when Suicune and, Entei or Zapdos are in the gyms or the Pokestops. It's that kind of gameplay that Pokemon has kind of always been based around. I mean, you used to battle your friends when you were younger, but really you just used them to get the trade evolutions that you needed. And you guys compared what Pokemon you had. It was always that. I mean, battling as a young age, you battled once, but then you knew who was stronger and you didn't really battle again. They kind of just scrapped that aspect of it and kept the bug collection aspect of it, and that's what Pokemon began as. It was based off the idea of collecting bugs, then collecting the cards, and now collecting the Pokemon digitally.
Yeah, but the true, I mean, and if I go in my backyard, I can bug collect 1 million potato bugs. But that's all that Pokemon Go became. Was it's based on bug catching, but you never. If you're in a region or a state that's rural, you only caught the same stuff over and over and over and over and over and over and over
but
again.
But they are fixing that over time.
I have 1 million Rattatas, and I have 1 million Caterpies.
And there were a lot of launch problems. The app was crashing, those kind of things. And really, it's later in the game that you started to encounter more Pokemon, and they started to fix that and reduce the number of.
I was so excited to go to Hawaii and catch, because I don't live near big bodies of water, and catch water Pokemon on Pokemon Go. I re-downloaded it because I was like, hey, sweet, I'm actually traveling out of my state. My family's going to Hawaii. Let's go see what Pokemon there was nothing. I didn't catch any Magikarp. I didn't get anything that was the distribution of Pokemon is so random and stupid that it didn't excite me. I think it's
a double-edged sword, though. Either they make the Pokemon so rare in your localized area that you never run into anything, or they make it where you can catch anything anywhere, and there's no significance in the travel. And they messed up in doing it both sides wrong.
There's no happy medium.
There's no happy medium there, because there's always going to be somebody who says, I'm running into the same stuff over and over. And when you first got the game, you run into your first Electabuzz or your first, and it was like, wow, this is awesome. And then by the end of the week, you've run into 10 of them. And you're like, oh, it doesn't matter anymore. And that's the thing. They appealed too much to that localized play rather than the destination based. But the thing is they can't appeal to both. And I think where they did end up was good, but they needed to update it sooner. The good news is, though, is that they have updated it again. There are 50 more Pokemon to go catch.
So I can catch the same one over and over and over again.
Hey, and their servers evolved.
Their server, great. They fixed their server. And I think it helps to fix your server when nobody plays your game anymore.
Hey, they fixed their server before everyone stopped playing the game.
And they also do events now and stuff, too, that come around where they have water-type events where you basically only run into water-type Pokemon for a month or whatever. And that's where I caught all of the water types I needed to evolve to that last stage, or that I needed to finish up. I got some Magikarps. I got a whole bunch of water-typed eggs that I was able to hatch. And eggs are cool because they give anybody the ability to get any
Eggs are
Pokemon.
fun until they don't accurately track your steps, and it takes forever to hatch an egg, and then all you get out of it is a Pidgey.
Do you not like that?
No, it's stupid. I have a million Pidgeys.
What are
Why
you,
am I-
not masochistic?
It's if you're gonna make me hatch an egg, make it don't make it something that's readily available everywhere.
And I wish you could have tossed eggs. That would have made it better because they had the 10K eggs, and the 10K eggs almost always hatched to something good, whether that was the dragon
Yeah,
types
is there, like
or
a 2K egg you could toss it. That'd
2K.
be cool.
If you could toss, well, even 2Ks were good because the starters were in there and they were easy to go through.
I
It's
could
those
never
stupid
get my
5Ks.
stupid app to track my steps properly.
Well, that's because I just don't think you were taking any steps, honestly.
I was taking steps. I wore it around while we went to the amusement park the entire day, and it still. And I even got the Apple Watch app, and it still doesn't track. And my eggs never freaking hatch. I was all excited. I was like, Apple Watch, I can play Pokemon Go, and yeah, sure, it buzzes like crazy whenever you're near a Pokemon, but it's always a stinking Pidgey or a Rattata, and I don't want to catch those anymore.
Did you get the little Pokemon?
No, I had
pin?
the Apple Watch. I didn't get the stupid little attachment. I
For
just
what, $30?
Worse.
Yay, we added 50 Pokemon. Like, add more. Make more variety. Why are we limiting it to 50? There's so many Pokemon available. Why are we why are we just distributing 50 Pokemon? I think if there was way more variety.
Well, they've added the remaining of the Hoenn region now. So that's 3
That's
regions.
great.
But,
We have 3 regions, great, but still I feel like you're so limited in what you can catch.
hey,
8
that's how I
minutes,
felt.
8 minutes, 8 minutes,
That's
8
how
minutes.
I felt
Hey,
when the
shush.
newest Pokemon game came out too.
8 minutes. Thank you guys. So, just little closing statements. We're gonna do closing statements. So first, I'm just gonna say a couple things. Remember to subscribe down below. Hit that subscribe button. Mid video, I know it works. Trust me. Mid video, subscribe. Okay, now let's get to closing remarks. Eric will go first. Cooksey go last, and then I got something to say.
When the preview for this game came out, it was epic. And everyone who had ever played Pokemon went, yes, finally I can play Pokemon in real life. And we were utterly disappointed in a incredibly pointless, I'm going to catch Rattata over and over again game that quickly fizzled and died. And Pokemon, they can try and release new stuff, but until they add where I can stop you on the street and we can say, here's my team of 5, let's go and battle, and really add in the fact that one of the things that made Pokemon great is I could train my Pokemon up and teach it new moves. You can't do that in this game. Your Pokemon's limited to 2 moves, and the battling is fairly boring. It's not exciting. It's not fun to train. It's not fun to get them. And the only way to evolve a Pokemon is to catch 1 billion of it and turn it into candy. That's not exciting. And I think that ultimately killed the fandom of this game. I think young kids play it because they can walk around the neighborhood and catch it, but ultimately the fans don't.
Cool. Yeah. You have 1 minute. Go.
I think that Pokemon did a great job here. I know that the game could have been better, but the game's not done. I think that's one thing that's very important to remember. I mean, when Pokemon Red came out, yeah, it was a good game to the people who played it. And then playing it now, it really wasn't that great of a – I mean, it was a good game. It had a lot to be built upon. But Pokemon Go had a lot to be built upon. And as we continue to play, it will become a better game, and it has become a better game. And, yeah, it's hard to play it on, a rural area, but they've added Pokestops, and they've added gyms, and they've made them more – they've added more density to the amount of content in the game. There are more Pokemon now, and there's more variety. The game is maintaining a better balance than it originally released with a variety of the weaker Pokemon that you can run into, and there are more legendaries and more rare Pokemon to encounter, meaning that you are now encountering more. The game play is better. It's not as buggy as it was. The servers have grown and evolved along with this game. They're
That's
not
1
even.
minute. Thank you.
Can't polish a turd.
All right. No. So here's the thing, right? When it first came out, everyone liked this game. When it first came out, right? Like when it first came out, we were all playing it.
I don't know if we
Everyone,
liked it.
you were walking outside. Everyone, you're like walk up to someone. They'd be like, "Hey, there's a Pidgey that way," or they'd be like, "Hey, there's a Gyarados over there." And you're like, "Thank you," and like they just knew you were playing. Like I'd be at work and people would come in all the time, like, "Hey," I go, "What?" I go, "Back in the back corner of the store by the milk." They go, "Yeah." I go, "There's a Growlithe back there," and they go, "Oh, cool," and they'd run back there. Like it just, I don't know. It made everyone more interactive, more social. It brought America together for a nice couple weeks. That was a good couple weeks that we had.
It did have
did.
a powerful release,
was-
but then it didn't hold it.
I know. It
And
sucks
it's
now.
because the game wasn't very good.
So if you
I
guys,
wouldn't say we liked it.
It's because it didn't
like
it
the
didn't-
idea.
It didn't update fast enough because we did like the game.
if it
We
updated
didn't
faster,
I don't
played
think we
it. We played it.
genuinely liked the game. I think we liked the idea of the game and the popularity, and what kept us playing was this camaraderie. And then we ultimately realized that the game was terrible.
It just didn't update fast enough and had too many bugs.
I think if updated faster didn't have any bugs, we'd still be playing it, honestly.
I do too.
Thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed the video, remember to hit that like button, remember to hit that subscribe button. The bell next to it tells you whenever we release a video or go live, which we did the other day. Is Darren telling everyone there was no Mobile Monday.
That's because he's been abused in the comment section of all the videos.
It's actually because he was moving Dream Geek Lane. You ain't got on Darren.
That's true. We back our boy. Darren is our homeboy.
Anyway, we have tons of stuff, parents guides, gamers guides, the Monday show where Darren gets heckin' roasted all the time. Yeah.
I can't wait to enter that arena right now with my Mobile Mondays coming up.
Pokemon Go subscribe right now.
Okay,
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Links in the description down below. See ya!
I don't know how, I just, don't know how to, sit and start the video without looking like a total dingle Harry.
Well, surprise, you always look like a dingle Harry.